Caryn Chandler and Matt Roloff, star of Little People, Big World, split up. Last but not least, Caryn Chandler married her covert partner. For Matt Roloff, Caryn cheats. I'll tell you all about it. Welcome back to our channel, where we explore your favorite reality TV stars' little-known backstories. We're revealing the details of a drama that has shocked the Little People, Big World community today. It tells the tale of Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler, two individuals who appeared to have a happily ever after, but everything turned out differently than anyone could have predicted. 2025 marked the end of their engagement, but it was only the beginning. Fans are in shock over rumors of an unexpected marriage, a hidden boyfriend, and infidelity. Was Matt Roloff cheated on by Caryn Chandler? What actually took place behind closed doors? In this thrilling story, grab some popcorn, settle in, and let's discover the startling truth. The startling reality of Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler's breakup is this. Since you must be familiar with the environment in which this novel is set in order to fully comprehend it, let's start at the beginning. When Little People Big World debuted on TLC in 2006, it swiftly evolved beyond a simple reality show. Turned into a window into a very special family's lives. The Roloffs reside in Oregon on a charming farm. A location that has grown to be as much a part of the narrative as the characters. Pumpkin patches, rolling hills, and a tall castle. The scene seems to have been taken directly from a storybook. The parents who made this family come to life, Matt and Amy Roloff, are at the center of the program. Amy and Matt are both dwarfs. Amy has chondroplasia and Matt has dystrophic dysplasia, which have influenced their lives and the difficulties they have encountered. The twins, Jeremy and Zach, were born in 1990, the daughter, Molly, was born in 1993, and the youngest, Jacob, was born in 1997. Zach has dwarfism like his parents, while Jeremy and Molly are of average height. Additionally, Jacob has gone in and out of the spotlight on his own. The family's dreamer is Matt Roloff. He is the man who took a plot of land and developed it into Roloff Farms, a successful enterprise that welcomes thousands of tourists each year. Matt's vision includes weddings, adventure trips, and pumpkin season. From building a pirate ship to building a treehouse, he is constantly experimenting with new ideas since he is an entrepreneur at heart. However, that drive has also been a double-edged sword, particularly in terms of his relationships. In contrast, Amy Roloff has been the family's unifying factor. She's the mom who managed the tumult of a reality show, raised children, and pursued her own goals. We've seen her develop over the years, particularly after some difficult personal chapters, from a wife and mother to a woman discovering her own voice. The children too have their own tales to tell. In order to focus on his photography and his family life with his wife, Audrey, Jeremy, the artistic twin, departed the show. The more reserved Zach remained, raising his own children alongside his wife Tori and navigating his own health issues. Molly, her husband Joel, and their children Jacob have maintained a more subdued lifestyle. His relationship with the show has been tumultuous. He left to write books and share his honest thoughts about the family's struggle. Little People, Big World has allowed us to have a close-up look at one family's milestones, struggles, and joys for almost 20 years. It's a show about overcoming adversity and figuring out where you fit in with the world when you're different. And until it wasn't, Matt and Amy's marriage was at the heart of it all. For 27 years, Matt and Amy Roloff were wed. For most couples, that is a lifetime commitment. In the realm of reality television, it seems to go on forever. They first connected at a Little People of America conference in the late 1980s, which brings together individuals with dwarfism. They got married in 1987 when sparks soared. They soon began establishing their lives on the farm, raising their children, and transforming their land into a thriving enterprise. We witnessed their marriage's high points, family getaways, humor, and their ability to support one another on the show. We did, however, see the lows. Amy's need for stability occasionally clashed with Matt's lofty goals. While Amy took care of the children and the house, he would spend hours in his workshop or organizing the next farm project. They began to feel the effects of those disparities over time. By 2014, it was hard to overlook the flaws. Matt and Amy declared their separation that year. In a joint statement, they said, "After 27 years of marriage, it is with great sadness that we have come to the difficult decision to file for divorce. We are proud of what we have accomplished together, including raising our 4 wonderful children who have grown into remarkable adults and building our strong and ongoing successful businesses." It was polite, it was poised, but it left a lot unsaid. The divorce was finalized in 2016, and while they both insisted it was mutual, fans couldn't help but wonder what really happened. Was it just the stress of the farm, the pressure of being on TV, or was there more to the story? Amy gave us the first real clue in 2019 when she released her book, A Little Me. In it, she dropped a bombshell. She'd been devastated to learn that Matt had been involved in more than a working relationship with Caryn Chandler before their divorce was final. She wrote, "I saw messages, pictures, and other things that should not have been shared between people who just were together and were still married to other people." Whoa, that's a heavy accusation. Amy was saying that Matt had been unfaithful, that while she was still his wife, he was getting close to Caryn, who had been working at Roloff Farms for years. She didn't call it cheating outright, but the implication was clear, and for fans, it was a gut punch. Had Matt betrayed Amy with the woman who'd been right under their noses all along? Matt, for his part, has always denied anything improper happened while he was married. In interviews, he's brushed off the rumors, saying he and Caryn didn't start dating until after the divorce. But Amy's words lingered, planting a seed of doubt that would follow Matt into his next chapter. Caryn Chandler wasn't a newcomer to the Roloff world. She'd been part of the farm for over a decade, working as the manager and helping Matt turn his wild ideas into reality. She was there during pumpkin season, overseeing the crowds, and in the off-season, keeping things running smoothly. With her warm smile and down-to-earth vibe, she fit right in. Caryn's backstory isn't as public as the Roloffs, but we know she's a mom to 2 grown kids, Connor and Brittany, from a previous marriage. She's Oregon-born and bred, and her connection to the farm made her a familiar face to longtime viewers. But before 2016, she was just an employee, someone in the background, not the spotlight. That all changed in 2017 when Matt confirmed he and Caryn were dating. It was less than a year after his divorce from Amy, and the news raised eyebrows. For some, it was too soon. For others, it confirmed what Amy had hinted at, that something had been brewing between Matt and Caryn for a while. Their relationship played out on Little People, Big World, and social media. We saw them laughing together, traveling to places like Hawaii, and tackling farm projects side by side. Matt couldn't stop singing Caryn's praises. In a 2018 episode, he called her his rock, saying, "She's been a huge part of my life, and I'm lucky to have her." On Instagram, he posted pics of them with captions like #living our best life, showing off their happiness. For Caryn, dating Matt came with its challenges. She'd worked for his family, and now she was stepping into a very public role as his partner. In a season 23 confessional, she admitted it was awkward at first, especially with Amy still around, but she said, "Matt, and I have something special. I wouldn't trade it for anything." They moved in together in 2021, splitting time between the farm and a house Matt bought nearby. It was a big step, and Matt called it a whole new major chapter in life. To fans, it looked like they were building something solid, a second chance at love for Matt after a messy divorce. But not everyone was on board. Amy, in particular, kept her distance. In a 2020 interview with People, she said it was hard to see Matt move on, especially with someone I knew. "I wish them well, but it's complicated." Her words hinted at unresolved pain, a reminder of the messy overlap between Matt's past and present. By 2023, Matt and Caryn had been together for 6 years, a milestone that proved they were more than a rebound. That April, Matt took the plunge and proposed. The moment was pure Matt, thoughtful and a little quirky. He popped the question during a quiet evening at their home with a custom ring he designed himself. Caryn said yes, and the couple shared the news with People magazine. Matt gushed, "Our plan is to enjoy our engagement, and we are looking forward to a simple but elegant wedding in 2024. Caryn added, "I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with Matt. He's my best friend." The announcement came with a photo of them beaming, Caryn's ring sparkling on her finger. Fans were over the moon. After years of watching Matt navigate single life, this felt like a triumph. Social media lit up with comments like, "Finally, and they're perfect together." Plans for the wedding started buzzing. Would it be on the farm? A destination event? The possibilities were endless. But as 2024 rolled around, things got quiet. Too quiet. In a season 25 episode of Little People Big World, Caryn dropped a hint that gave fans pause. She said, "Whether we get married or we don't, the farm is out of the question." Hold on, what? The wedding was pre-arranged, right? In a 2024 interview with People, Matt mirrored her hesitancy, saying, "I'm scared about how marriage might change us." Her statements implied a transformation, as if she wasn't quite convinced about getting married. "We don't have any issues with the institution of marriage. We've been married and we both like it, but is it really necessary? Caryn and I sometimes have different visions," he continued. "I'm tied to the farm and she's not sure she wants to live here forever." Those comments were a red flag. Matt loved the farm. It was his legacy. Caryn though seemed to crave something simpler away from the chaos of Roloff farms and the cameras. Was this a sign of trouble in paradise? Fans started to wonder if the wedding would ever happen. Then in July 2025, the bombshell dropped. Matt took to Instagram with a post that stopped fans in their tracks. "Caryn and I have decided to part ways and end our engagement. Life's a continued journey and this is the right step for us at this time. We remain amicable and will always appreciate the many wonderful memories we have shared." The words hit like a thunderclap after 6 years together and engagement and all those plans what had happened. The post was short, polite, and vague, leaving more questions than answers. Matt turned off comments, a sign he wasn't ready to face the flood of reactions. The news spread fast. People magazine confirmed it. Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler have called off their engagement. E-Online called it a shock to fans. While Screen Rant noted, the couple seemed solid just months ago. Reactions lighted up X. A few supporters were devastated. "I knew something was off when they kept delaying the wedding," one person said, while another stated, "Matt deserves better than this." Still others weren't surprised. However, why? And there was the big question. Fans didn't believe Matt's kind statement that it was reciprocal. Had they simply drifted apart? Did the farm come up? Or did anything more sinister lie beneath the surface? Matt remained silent in the days that followed, posting about getting ready for pumpkin season and concentrating on the farm. Meanwhile, Caryn disappeared from social media, leading followers to make wild guesses. Nobody realized that the true narrative would soon be revealed and that it would completely alter the course of events. In the realm of reality TV, breakups are seldom easy, and this one was no exception. Days after the breakup, reports began to circulate that Matt and Caryn's story was more complicated than a nice partying couple. Details started to surface from people close to the family, and what they disclosed was astounding. Caryn had been in a relationship. He was a contractor named Michael Thompson who had spent the previous year working on Roloff farms. Tall, tough, and known for his charm and ability to fix anything, Michael was in his late 40s. He had been brought in to supervise the guest cottage renovations on the farm, a project Matt was really enthusiastic about. However, Michael and Caryn were growing closer while Matt was preoccupied with filmmaking and farm work. We were told by an insider that it began innocently enough. Caryn was in charge of coordinating with Michael, who was frequently present to assist with the cottages. Over time, their conversation, laughter, and coffee breaks evolved into something more. People began to notice when they vanished for extended periods of time. Another source, a longtime FART employee, added, Caryn was feeling neglected. Matt always got a million things going on the show, the farm, his grandkids. Michael was different. He listened to her, made her feel seen. You could see the chemistry. The timeline was damning. Michael started working at the farm in mid-2024, right around when Matt and Caryn's wedding plan stalled. By early 2025, witnesses say Caryn and Michael were spotted together off the farm grabbing lunch in Hillsborough, taking walks near her old neighborhood. One local told us they didn't act like just friends. They were holding hands, laughing like a couple. But here's where it gets messy. Caryn was still engaged to Matt when this started. That's right. While Matt was planning their future, Caryn was allegedly falling for someone else. A friend of the family revealed Matt had no clue at first. He trusted Caryn completely. But in the spring of 2025, he started suspecting something was up. She was distant, always had excuses to be somewhere else. The breaking point came in June 2025. According to our sources, Nat confronted Caryn after finding a text from Michael on her phone. The message wasn't explicit, just a casual "see you tomorrow," but it was enough to spark a fight. Caryn denied anything romantic, but Matt wasn't convinced. Days later, they agreed to end the engagement with Matt, insisting they keep it amicable for the sake of the show and their families. Matt was devastated. The friend said he loved Caryn, thought she was his forever. To find out she'd been sneaking around, it broke his heart. But he didn't want a public war. He just wanted it over. If the split was a shock, what happened next was an earthquake. In October 2025, just 3 months after the breakup, Caryn married Michael Thompson in a private ceremony. The news didn't leak right away. It was a hushed-up affair held at a vineyard in Wilmette Valley with only a handful of guests. Photos surfaced weeks later thanks to a guest who shared them with a tabloid. Caryn looked radiant in a simple white dress. Her hair swept back, smiling beside Michael in a dark suit. The setting was stunning rolling vines, golden autumn light. But the story behind it was what grabbed headlines. Our sources say the wedding was planned in a hurry. Caryn didn't want it public. An attendee told us she and people would talk, especially after the split, but she was head over heels for Michael. They didn't want to wait. The guest list was small. Her kids, Connor and Brittany, a few close friends, and no Roloffs. It was a clean break from her past. Caryn broke her silence with a short statement to the US Sun. "I have found true happiness with Michael. Our connection is deep and I'm grateful for this new chapter in my life." No mention of Matt, no apology, just a declaration of her new reality. The speed of it all set tongues wagging. 3 months from a breakup to a wedding, fans did the math and it pointed to one conclusion. Caryn's relationship with Michael wasn't new. It had been going on while she was still with Matt, confirming the rumors of infidelity. Nat was blindsided again. A source close to him said he'd heard whispers about Michael, but the marriage that hit him like a freight train. He thought she'd at least take time to figure things out, not rush down the aisle. Michael, for his part, stayed out of the spotlight. We dug into his background. He's a divorced dad of 1, runs a small construction firm, and has no ties to reality TV. Friends describe him as steady and kind. The opposite of Matt's high-energy chaos. Maybe that's what drew Caryn to him. A quieter life away from the farm and the cameras. The Roloff family didn't stay silent for long. Amy Roloff, now happily married to Chris Murick, weighed in with surprising empathy. In a November 2025 interview with Today, she said, "Matt and I have had our differences, but I hate to see him hurting. I understand the feeling of being deceived. I wish him a happy life once more." In a beautiful turn of events, her remarks alluded subtly to her personal history with Matt and Caryn. The Roloff children united around their father. Molly and Jacob remained silent, but sources said they were taken aback by Caryn's behavior. Zach responded on Instagram, "Family is everything. We're here for you, Dad." He included a picture of him and Matt at the farm with the words, "Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Love you, Dad." The fans' opinions were divided. Reactions flooded in on X. One user tweeted, "I can't believe Caryn cheated on Matt. He deserves so much better." Another said, "Good for Caryn. Matt's a workaholic. She needed someone who'd put her first." A third wrote, "This feels like karma for what Matt did to Amy. What goes around comes around." The online debate raged. Some saw Caryn as a villain, others as a woman chasing her happiness. But one thing was clear. This drama had little people, big world trending again, with everyone waiting to see how it play out on screen. Little people, big world has always thrived on real-life twists, and this one's a gold mine. Season 26 is in production and producers are tight-lipped, but insiders say Matt's storyline will focus on his recovery. His throwing himself into the farm. A crew member told us we'll see him processing the breakup, leaning on his kids, maybe even dating again. Caryn's future on the show is murkier. She stepped back since the split, and her marriage to Michael suggests she's done with the Roloff spotlight. She's not filming. The insider said she wants a fresh start away from all this. Matt's been open about moving forward. In a December 2025 Instagram Live, he said, "Life goes on and I'm focused on my family and the farm. I'm not closing any doors," he said, implying that he was open to love, adding, "I have no regrets and wish Caryn all the best. When the right person comes along, I'll know." Caryn and Michael have settled into a low-key life. They bought a house in Portland, far from the farm's chaos. She's happier than ever. A friend said Michael's her safe place. And so, the tale of Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler ends not with a wedding, but with a betrayal and a new beginning. It's a story that started with hope, veered into heartbreak, and left us questioning what we thought we knew. Did Caryn cheat on Matt? The evidence. Rumors, timelines that lightning-fast marriage points to yes, but in true reality TV fashion, we may never get the full truth. What we do know is this. Matt's picking up the pieces, surrounded by family and a farm that's his lifeline. Caryn's found her happiness, even if it came at a cost. And for us, the viewers, it's a reminder that love's messy, unpredictable, and oh so human, even under the bright lights of fame. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride. What do you think? Did Caryn do Matt wrong? Or was this just two people growing apart? Drop your thoughts below. More update. Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler reunite with Zach Roloff, Tori Roloff, and their kids amid estrangement. And Matt Roloff's ex-employee convicted of cocaine possession and more. I will explain everything. Isabel Roloff has been relentlessly posting on the Instagram account dedicated to Roloff Farms. I have received numerous updates on the house from her. However, viewers of Little People Big World picked up on something. Matt Roloff was missing one employee from his team, in particular the worker who has been with him the longest. Can you tell me how Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez did? Some viewers of TLC wanted to know more. Luckily, there were other fans who knew the solutions. An ex-employee of Matt Roloff's was taken into custody on numerous charges, including possession of cocaine. To what exact charges was he subjected? A lot of people are curious as to whether or not Matt is still in touch with him. Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez worked for Roloff Farms for almost 20 years. It is worth noting that in 2016, the show addressed his absence from the property. Regardless, admirers went ahead and poked their heads into an Instagram image despite the setting. I dropped by to see how he was doing and find out what had happened to him. Admirer wrote, "I believe he was deported in response to the query. Does he still communicate with any of the Roloffs?" Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez was a kind individual who worked very hard for Matt. It was therefore a huge letdown. As depicted in the TLC episode, Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez departed Roloff Farms and was deported in 2016, according to the original ad for the question. The documents showed that he was returning to Mexico, the Sun said. These court documents also informed the public of a number of charges against him. These charges included possession of cocaine, dangerous driving, and intoxicated driving. In 2016, Amy informed Zach, her son, that Camerino's deportation was official at the time. She continued by saying the news was heartbreaking. The Roloff family made it a point to publicly voice their worries for Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez's kids. Additionally, Matt Roloff made a special effort to help his old colleague. In an attempt to prevent the deportation of his employees, he established a petition and was able to gather 35,000 signatures. In his appeal, he referred to Camerino's documentation as defective. The Roloffs planned to support Camerino, he countered. She mismanaged client funds and made bad choices on behalf of her clients, including Camerino, according to Matt Roloff, who was describing what transpired. Matt Roloff contended at the time that his former employee was being charged with drug possession rather than genuine chemical possession. If he had been able to return to the United States, Lpbw followers believe Matt would have been happy to see him. Is Matt Roloff still in contact with his former employee? In your opinion? Now leave a comment. Matt Roloff finds it hard to leave his cherished farm, but is it possible this time? According to credible sources, Matt Roloff, the actor from Little People, Big World, found it difficult to give up the Oregon family farm he had owned for many generations. Amy Roloff and her children from a previous marriage, together with 61-year-old Roloff, were offered $4 million for their house last year. The cost has been drastically lowered since then. Everyone is always arguing over Matt wanting to sell the property. My gut tells me he is serious about it this time, a source told the Washington Post. For a moment, he thought of offering it to Arand so he could keep ownership. Situated on more than 16 acres and near Portland's downtown, the property is currently valued at $3.39 million. According to the description, the main house has around 5,000 square feet of modern living space with 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, an outdoor pool, and a 6-car garage. The entire house, 2 living areas, one with a gas fireplace, a gourmet kitchen, a dining area, 2 offices, and the master suite are all upstairs. Upstairs, you'll discover 4 bedrooms, 2 complete bathrooms, a bonus room, and a home theater. There is a 3,500 square foot red barn next to it. A stone castle, several bridges for pedestrian enjoyment of the property's paths, and a western town with a saloon, prison, post office, and general store are some of the extra features listed in the description. Before this, Matt Roloff had said, "I have committed most of my adult life creating an imaginative environment filled with adventure for my family. After 30 wonderful years, I have decided to pass the reins of this incredible property on to its next owners so that they too can put down roots and see them grow." The Roloffs first put down $185,000, about $444,000 today, on the property in 1990. Even if the asking price is almost met, Matt will still make a tidy profit. On March 4th, 6, the first episode of Little People Big World aired. The show followed the married 4-foot-tall Roloff parents as they raised their 4 children, Zach and Molly, who are twins, and Jacob and Molly, who are younger siblings. Matt and Caryn Chandler have owned a property in Arizona since 2018, and they reside there part-time. In 2020, after Amy and Matt's 2016 divorce, the 60-year-old sold 32 acres of the family farm to Matt for $975,000. In 2021, she tied the knot with Chris Merrick, a real estate agent. Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler reunite with Zach Roloff, Tori Roloff, and their kids amid estrangement. Little People, Big World's Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler reunited with Zach Roloff, Tori Roloff, and their 3 kids, even though they had grown apart. On Sunday, November 6th, Audrey Roloff memorialized Matt's late father, Ronald Roloff, with a series of Instagram stories posts that included photos and videos from a family gathering. He was 84 years old when he died in July. Even though Tori, 31, and Zach, 32, were not in any of the pictures, the couple's 2 eldest children, Jackson, 5, and Lila, 2, were pictured coloring with their cousins, Ember, 5, and Bo, 2. They also have a 6-month-old son named Joa, who Jackson and Lila share. More slides show Matt, 61, enjoying quality time with Bode. These 2 were having a blast together. Audrey, who is 31 years old, wrote of the tender moment. As viewers watched the rivalry between Tori, Zach, Matt, and Caryn unfold in season 24 of the TLC show, the family got back together. Tori and Zach revealed at the November 1st premiere that they were at odds with Matt and Caryn, 55, after the father of 4 listed a portion of Roloff farms for sale. Their contention was that the family farm is no longer a place of joy and has a hostile climate. And they further stated that they had no plans to introduce Joa to Caryn. Subsequently, Caryn said that she and her long-term partner had severed all communication with Zach, Tori, and their children. She confessed, "My hope is that we will chat again one day. Something will."